Hi, I'm Barbara, and I would like to read you a chapter from my book, Cracked Wide Open. So just sit back, relax, and listen to my words. I chose the chapter called Yoga. Do I simply do yoga, or do I have a yoga practice? That was a profound question I had to answer at this stage of my life. I have been doing yoga for several years, and I realized I did not have a solid practice. Ellie always gave me crap about my sporadic yoga life, and she would frequently ask me things like, "Did you make it to your mat today, Mel?" I would go to yoga class when I felt like it, and I would sometimes roll my mat out at home. When I refer to yoga here, I am referring to the asana aspect of yoga, the physical part of yoga practice. My asana yoga commitment was never too hardcore, but this laissez-faire attitude was changed one early morning at a studio. It was a morning like any other morning, and I ushered myself into an 8 o'clock vinyasa yoga class, Mind Your Stretch, right in front of the beach, with big floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the ocean. The studio is on the second floor, over a little metaphysical gift shop that sells items like crystals, incense, and organic food items. It's a very earthy, crunchy shop, and they have the best homemade granola. In the back of the shop, there's an outdoor patio where I sometimes drink a coffee or tea, and it sits right on the sand. Maybe this was the reason I was drawn to doing yoga here in the first place, along with the gorgeous ocean views. Let me take you to this yoga experience that changed my thinking. I pulled the car into the crushed shell parking lot located on the north side of the building and noticed the emptiness of the lot. Where is everyone? It's an early morning yoga class, and there's usually only a handful of attendees anyways, but never just one. I don't want to be the only one, and I don't know exactly why. It's just uncomfortable. It's not easy for me to regularly attend this class because I love sleeping in when I'm off from work, especially after a busy weekend. It's Monday, and the crisscross is always closed on Sunday and Monday. Sunday's the day with family and friends, and Monday have typically been all mine. I get out of the car and hear the crunch, crunch, crunch of the white shells under my flip-flops. Something so natural and earthy about walking on these little crushed shells makes me so happy. I reach the outside set of metal stairs going up the side of the building to the yoga studio's front door. One by one, each stair works my legs, which are tired but are aching to be stretched. It gets a little breezier the farther up the stairs I go, since we are right on the water, and I feel much more awake than at the bottom of the staircase. There's a free-spirited feeling of the ocean breezes in the morning. The scent of the ocean is intoxicating. I can see the sun shining on the ocean from up here, right on the top landing, and it fills me up. I take just one moment and think of this staircase symbolically, in the sense of climbing up the stairway of my life, becoming more alive, more filled up, and thus having more energy to give. I know I need to be here this morning. I open the red door. Namaste. The sun is shining onto the studio's bamboo floor through the big window, which directly faces east. The ocean is gleaming out this window, and the waves are very soft and rolling, like little white diamonds lapping the sand. I'm the first to arrive, and the instructor, Michelle, is attending to her music. The studio is medium-sized, maybe 400 square feet, with a little bathroom in the rear corner. It's painted pale yellow, with white trim all around the ceiling and floor. The yellow walls radiate with sunshine in the morning since it faces the sunrise. The bamboo flooring is light-colored and feels so natural. No lights are needed, and the environment is pure and revitalizing. I put my keys in water along the wall and walk onto the floor to choose my spot. Something nudges me to go up front today. Right in front of the window is where I roll out my mat. I like this studio because we don't look directly at a mirror. We look out into the ocean. It's magical. I sit down on my mat and start stretching while the others start arriving. I'm relieved there are other attendees and not just me. This is a quiet class, and so greetings are kept to a minimum, with just a quick smile or wave to each other. I am sucked into the motion of the waves as I stare out the window. I feel very relaxed, but energized at the same time. I wonder why I have a hard time getting here some mornings, because it just feels so good. The class is offered 3 days a week, but I typically only make this one on Mondays. Oh, I try to attend another yoga class on Wednesday nights when I haven't settled into the home body thing too deeply. You know, that TV, dinner, husband, couch thing that takes over your whole body like an ugly monster, capturing your better self. You even start to look ugly and act ugly. Once you have been captured for more than 1 day or two, why do I let that monster get me? Here we go, the music starts. The new age music at yoga helps me relax and soothes my whole being. Michelle begins walking around and starts to guide us through our practice with her words. Our practice. She says this several times. I start thinking about the word practice. It really starts to resonate with me and with my non-practice. I've been so haphazard with yoga and exercise in general. I think about what the practice is. It's a commitment and a habit that lives and breathes within a person. I know this intellectually, but I have to find a way for it to become second nature to me. I reflect on the practices I've built in my life, including healthy eating, healthy drinking, meditation, and some level of mindfulness. But showing up to practice the physical side of yoga still needs some help. I marinate this idea into my head and ask for it to drop down into my being, down into my gut, where I can actually act on it. I use this visualization to take ideas that come into my head, my mind, and move them down to the verbalization stage where I can talk about them. After that, I concentrate on dropping them down deeper to my heart, where I can really feel them wholeheartedly and actually fall in love with the idea. I can get stuck with circulating ideas around these 3 areas in a loop, but the key for me is to push them down to my core gut where I can actually act on them. I can talk about loving yoga and wanting a solid practice all day long, but making it a reality is deeper down. I need to take the idea of having a yoga practice to my core, my hardcore gut, and breathe it into action. Okay, we are guided into a warrior pose, which is a pose with our arms stretched out strong and our feet far apart, but grounded. And I am distracted by a funny blow-up advertisement outside the window. It's a blow-up clown, like a big balloon on a string being pulled from a boat like a kite. There are always advertisements streaming across the beach. It's Bozo the clown. You know, that McDonald's clown with the red hair from our childhood? He's looking straight at me with those emotional eyes, like he knows me. He's asking me a question. Are you a joke or a warrior? We flow to another pose with our arms swooping down to a forward fold. Our instructor suggests letting go of unnecessary thoughts and says, practice letting go. There's a word again, practice. We swoop up, arms overhead, and he's gone, just as fast as he showed up. Bozo the clown came to tell me something, and these are the ideas that sunk way down into my gut today. Don't be a joke, be a warrior. Practice yoga with seriousness, on and off the mat. Don't clown around. Grow up, Mel. And I'll finish it there. It's not the end of the chapter, but you know our attention spans are kind of short. So if you want to finish the chapter, just get the book. Thanks.